Hello, today I'd like to talk to you about how I plan my colours while I'm colouring. I don't usually plan my colour scheme in advance, the main reason being that when I started colouring, I just didn't have the time and developed this technique. And now I find that it actually helps the logic of the overall colour scheme to actually plan the colours as I go along. So if you don't have time to plan in advance and just want to get colouring, or if you find yourself in front of an image which is very complicated like this one and you don't know where to start, maybe this technique will help you. So here I have an image which took me a year to get to colouring. I was quite intimidated by the choice of colour because all of those sweets in his head. They needed to be different colours and I didn't know where to start. The idea with this technique is to colour all of the obvious things first, like putting the edges of a jigsaw together first. So you start with the objects in your artwork that would make no sense if they were a different colour. A zombie isn't a great example for this because zombies can be all kinds of different colours. But here I started with the eyes and the drool, which couldn't be any other colour than blue without grossing people out. Then the mouth, because when we're colouring fantasy art there has to be a certain realism in there, so I decided that this zombie would have the same colour mouth as a real person. Here I'm colouring the spaghetti string candy. I thought that it would be more recognisable if it was red. Then I realised that the stripy tie could be a candy cane colour. That would be quite a nice effect, seeing as he has candy in his head. Those striped candies are marshmallow candies. We called them flumps when I was a girl. They're usually only pink and white, so I coloured them. Again, we wouldn't recognise them if they were any other colour. So all of the obvious colours are done now. The objects that couldn't be coloured otherwise are now complete. So the edges of my jigsaw are done. I can now look at the image and decide how to fill in the rest. Here I won't comment every colour and the reason I chose it, because the important part for this second stage is to understand how we fill in the rest. In the zombie's head there's a lot of candy one next to the other, so the idea for this particular piece is to make sure that there isn't one colour next to the other. If not, the candies will blend one into the other, or there'll be a lack of balance in the overall colour scheme. So it's kind of like playing a puzzle game from now on. You say, if I put that colour down there, will I end up being forced to, at some point, put one colour that is too similar next to the other? With the candies, for example, I stay with a colour scheme that includes all the primary colours. So I'm trying to avoid putting too many cool colours like blue and purple together, or too many warm colours like orange, pink or red. I had taken a while to decide on the zombie's skin colour. When I realised that my drawing contained a lot of purples and blues, I decided to break it up a little and put the green in there. This was to add a bit of contrast and to stop the artwork from looking too monotone. So here I had taken some time to intensify the shadows on the red spaghetti candy. I had done this because I had absolutely no clue as to the next colour that I wanted to choose. So I went back to step 1, doing the things that are obvious, like putting shadows on certain parts. And while I was doing that, I was making the decision to add the orange and the purples into the candies in the head. So if you have limited time for colouring, you can switch between colouring tasks like making shadows or colouring large areas while you're deciding which colour to use next. Now you'll see that I have all the difficult decisions planned out for my candies, and it's just a question of intensifying the shadows and making them look like they're all being hit by the same light. For more info about this step, please check out my video about unifying your colours. I still have the trousers and the shoes to colour, but those colours will be a lot easier to choose now that the head is done. because it's just a question of making sure that there is a balance of colour in the artwork. For example, there are lots of warm colours on the top of the drawing, red and orange, and lots of cool colours on the bottom, with the blue trousers and the purple shirt. This made the drawing start to look a bit top heavy, so I chose to make his trousers and shoes brown. Again, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, like the last pieces that you need to fit. You get to a point where you don't have much choice of the colour to choose, so it makes your decision easier, like proceeding by elimination. I think that's about all I can say about this. So remember, the basics of this technique are to colour the obvious objects first, then make decisions as to which colours you can put together to keep balance in your artwork, and while you're making these decisions, continue to colour shadows and intensify your colours. Just work around your artwork in general until you feel inspired. Finally, colour those parts of your artwork where it was most difficult to make the decision last, when you have eliminated all of the other choices. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. Maybe it will get you colouring some images where you didn't know where to start. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe and let your friends know if they would be interested. Thank you and enjoy your colouring. Bye.